This is MX Linux 23.5 x64. I'm going to try it on this HP Stream laptop and I'm going to see how it goes, and I'm going to install it on the actual laptop because previously with the Linux Mint video I booted off the USB and that wasn't really a proper test of how it performs. And MX Linux is based on Debian, whereas Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu, and this MX Linux is about 2.2 gigabytes, so it feels like it's going to be a sort of more lightweight version of Linux compared to Linux Mint. Oh, we've got a cat coming to join us and check out the laptop with this version of Linux. Booted quite quickly from the USB drive, and rather than sort of spend too much time looking around, I'm going to try and actually just install it straight away onto this laptop. Here we go. Here's the, so I'll get rid of this. Oh, it's got the time, it's got hard drive, memory, CPU, battery. The battery in this is dead. Actually, let's bring up some kind of task manager. Here are the sort of things built in. So accessories, development, games, graphics, internet, multimedia, MX tools, office, settings and system. And we've got HTOP, which is here. Oh, it's C3, that's pretty cool. I'll see if I can find a different sort of device manager. And that's not what I mean. I mean task manager. Hard info 2. Oh, this is interesting. This is a lot like the sort of thing you get on Macs. I quite like this. Tells us all about the computer. Okay, well, I'll just minimize this and we can use this as a sort of gauge as to how much the computer is doing. We've also got the CPU here, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you get a closer view. So I'm going to start the installer. I don't know how long this is going to take, and I might speed this up if this takes too long. So it's just checking the USB drive, checking the media is okay, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. It seems pretty responsive so far. It's using 53% of the memory, so what's that? 727 megabytes. That's pretty good. If I leave this down here, we can sort of see the CPU usage while it's doing the install. It's based on Debian stable. Uses some components from Mepis. Okay. And I'm just going to use this built-in disk. Use the entire disk. And it's going to format the disk. It's got a 32 gigabyte eMMC inside this laptop. It did have Windows 10 on. I'm now writing over that so that we can install MX Linux on this. We have my cat watching, which is kind of cute. don't know if she knows she's on camera actually. She probably doesn't. But she does like sort of watching herself on videos every now and again. Yeah, it's got this Samba server for MS networking. That's useful. You know, with the default of workgroup. And can I just open a terminal? Can I have a fresh one? Okay, let's just have a very quick look. Oh, I've closed it. Oh, there's a task manager there. So I wanted to run neofetch if that's there. No, it's not. Okay, so we can go back to htop. But I suppose I don't really need htop because I've got this task manager which we can put here. You can see it's using 1 GB of RAM. This is how much disk space is left after the install, and installing Quake 3 and Geekbench, and I've just installed Midori on here. We've got 19.1 gigabytes available, and it's a 30 gigabyte drive on here. This looks like a fairly quick process. If it's only got 2 gigabytes of stuff on the USB to copy across, then this shouldn't take too long really. And assuming it all goes to plan, we can, or should be able to reboot into Linux, MX Linux, once this is finished installing. Got the power usage over here. Hopefully you can see that. It might be a little bit dark. So you can see this laptop's only using 8.1 watts. Quite nice having a little system just to play around with, try different operating systems and try and get this up to a sort of a responsive system. Try and get this into a useful little system, and trying to find the right operating system. So time zone, London. Oh yeah, these times are probably completely wrong because the CMOS battery in this laptop is flat and I'm not connected to the internet, so it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, let's give these a password. Usually statements like "it didn't work" are not helpful. If it stops working, special thanks. Okay, I missed one of those messages, but never mind. We're almost there. This is the wrong date and time. Oh, so this is called Conky, Desktop System Monitor. Quick system info. This is another app to tell us about the system. Bluetooth, updates, volume. Can we just drag this and move this? Or do we have to go into properties? Move. Okay, so I've got that at the top now. Okay, so I think we're ready to restart. And take the USB out. Okay. Seems to have switched off. Selected boot image did not authenticate. Press enter to continue. And then it switches off. So we've now got this error message, and I'm guessing it's to do with secure boot on this laptop. It's not letting me into the BIOS either at the moment, so yeah. Okay, spoke too soon. We should be able to go into the BIOS to disable secure boot, but the problem is that it then re-enables itself every time the power is unplugged. So disable secure boot, and if we save and exit, hopefully we'll be able to boot from the install that we've just done. Okay, so let's give this a try. Okay, we're booting from MX 23.5. Ooh, neat. Okay, so this is real time. This is, I haven't, paused or sped anything up. This is real time, the system booting up into Linux from the actual install on the laptop. So I'll just check some settings on here, make it a little bit larger. And I'll connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so we're connected to the Wi-Fi. In this welcome thing, we've got the FAQ, user manual, wiki, tools, tweak, forums, videos, contribute, popular apps, and tour. And since we've got a cat here, I'll just open up YouTube and see if we can get something that the cat might be interested in watching. Here's our task manager. And we've got, which we didn't have when we're booting from USB, we've got an actual swap file here. So when we do run out of memory, then we can use the swap file. Whenever I go to the top and then go to the bottom, is this another window that we've gone to? Oh yeah, so we've got that one there and this other window here. So ideally I want this on the other window down here so we can sort of see what's going on. And let's do video for cats. Oh, it's leaving just at the moment when I'm about to show a video for cats. So I've pressed this. I'm still thinking about moving this over. Oh, it's got one of those live chats that we don't really need. Let's get rid of that. So video playback looks okay at the moment. Let's just check what sort of resolution we've got. It's 480. It's using the VP09 codec. CPU usage is quite high, but looks pretty quick, basically. Not very many dropped frames. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see what else. If we go to the BBC website. And then let's open another tab with WebGL Aquarium. So you can sort of see here, down here, where we've got the lighter pink memory usage, and then this darker pink is where it's using the swap file. This is getting 35 to 40 frames per second. Let's make that larger. Does it have a full screen mode? Or is it F11? So that's running quite smoothly. So the power usage has gone up as it's doing more stuff. So about just under 11 watts there. This seems like quite responsive as a system, but let's have a look if I can get Geekbench to run and see how we add additional applications to this. So NeoFetch isn't there, but we can use sudo apt install NeoFetch. I'm quite liking this operating system. I quite like that this is transparent and you can see what's going on in the background. Not sure, we didn't get NeoFetch for some reason. We've got htop on here, haven't we? Yep. And we've got top. Let's see if we can get Geekbench. No, not sure why sudo apt install is not working for me right now. Okay, well, while I sort of work out how to install different apps on this, let's see sort of what happens if we go back to YouTube and go to full screen and see what sort of resolution we can get to. So we're currently on auto, which is selected 720p. That seems to be running quite well, to be honest. The laptop screen doesn't do 1080p, so there doesn't seem much point in testing that, but why not just give it a try? We're getting quite a lot of dropped frames as the system kind of struggles with this, but you know, you don't need 1080p if the screen can't actually do 1080p. So let's go back to 720p. And 480. And this whole sort of switching between default view and theater mode, that's quite responsive. And then to full screen, it's not too bad considering we've got 2 GB of RAM in this system. It's an Intel Celeron N3060. Yeah. Here's some news. I'm using an external mouse because it just makes it easier for me to use the system. Okay, so let's try the package manager and see if we can get Geekbench from there. Maybe I'll close this. And let's see if we can find Geekbench. Maybe I should just go to the actual Geekbench website and download it from there. Yeah, it's just downloading the package info. Okay, so I found Geekbench 6 in Flatpaks. we should be able to install this. Again, this is in real time. Hopefully you like these videos. They're a bit more relaxed and calm compared to some of the videos on YouTube. I like to keep things fairly simple, avoid having music, for example. So you can just have them on and you can watch them if you want with, you know, full attention, or you can watch them and just have them on in the background, and hopefully find them relaxing. And if you are not a subscriber, feel free to click subscribe. You can also join the channel. There's different levels and there's extra bits and pieces, but I try and keep everything available and low cost, and really appreciate all the new subscribers that join, as well as channel members. So, oh, it's got 7 of these to install. So yeah, I think the first video I did about this laptop was mostly complaining about how it only has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it came with Windows 10 and only 29 gigabytes of usable storage. And that's, you know, not great when Windows 10 eventually fills up and then you've got a laptop that you can't use anymore. But it doesn't mean that, you know, you should stop using this laptop or laptops like this if you've got one, because, you know, it's about finding the right operating system or the right use case for these kinds of low power laptops. And that's partly why I'm trying different operating systems on this, to see which ones work best with the limited amount of memory and storage. And, you know, for slower laptops and slower systems, you might not even want to use them on the internet. You know, they might make a great system for running old applications or old games or old operating systems. So yeah, it's quite a nice little laptop. It's got a nice keyboard, and I guess the main problem I have is with the battery, which is completely dead, and then the secure boot keeps the switching back on whenever the power is disconnected, which causes problems for booting. But maybe there'll be a workaround available once I look into it. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think of MX Linux, what you think of old laptops and old PCs. Which do you prefer, laptops or PCs? And what do you use now? Do you mostly use laptops? It seems to be the way that everyone seems to have laptops rather than PCs. But yeah, this is installing, so it could be actually on YouTube looking at different things. So let's have a look at so it was Linux Mint, HP Stream, 2 gig was the other video on this system. Here we go. I'll get rid of that. What an odd advert. It's going a little bit slow. I guess I'm currently trying to install an application, so that's going to slow it down. I'm still waiting for the ability to get to the video. And let me see how quickly this scrolling feature is. Nope. Trying to do the Windows within Windows. See how many different screens I can do in consecutive videos. Hopefully you find that amusing. Probably not as amusing as I find it. So we're still installing this. It's quite a big package, Geekbench, from the looks of things. And we've got this memory usage and swap file here. Firefox at the top, Flatpak installer there. So we've got notes, always fun to see a little notes app that you can leave on your desktop. MX Linux installed 27th January. It seems like it's got everything you'd need really in terms of different applications. A few games. Lots of different tools there. Office. Oh, an ebook viewer. Desktop calendar. Okay. So what happened there? Process finished successfully. Awesome. So does that mean I can run it from here? Nope. I need to find it. So I guess this is running. This is the processor Celeron N3060 at 2.48 gigahertz, and it's got 2 cores, and this is the memory. So I won't show this whole thing, as in I'll basically pause the video and we'll come back when we get a result. Okay, so the Geekbench app finished running, disappeared, and now I'm left trying to search for the results on the Geekbench 6 website. I can't find my system here, but since this is an Intel Celeron N3060, here are some results from a Dell version with the same processor. Here's a HP notebook with an N3060, and this is your multi-core score, this is your single core score. So what do you think? Is it worth me running Geekbench on these laptops and systems when you can just literally look up the results on Geekbench anyway? It added quite a long time to the video making process, and yeah, it kind of took a long time to install, took a long time to run, and then I'm left not having the results. So I'm not entirely sure for me there's that much benefit in this, but yeah, this system does seem to run quite well. You know, even running YouTube, which is tricky for this laptop, Yeah, should I see how many tabs I can have open, for example? Just go for these BBC News and eBay because they're there and it's quick and easy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's getting a little bit slower, but because we've got a swap file, even with using more memory than we've got, we should be okay with opening multiple tabs, multiple windows. Let's also start Office. Not really sure what happened to Office then. It's getting a little slow. It is a slow laptop. I am asking quite a lot from it. Okay, we've got LibreOffice Writer. And let's pick a giant font. With an Intel Celeron N3060 and 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's pretty responsive. I've opened Office twice, haven't I? That's what I've done. And I've got Firefox open with a whole bunch of different tabs. Yeah, it's not liking this idea of switching back, but there we go. It's definitely usable. If I can get this to boot without coming up with a secure boot error, this could be a nice little operating system to have on this laptop. I think I might actually like this quite a lot. I've managed to crash it. The mouse was moving a little bit, but it's kind of doesn't like that idea so much. So I'm going to restart it, come back, and then we can finish off this video. Okay, I've restarted, booted back up, and this is the volume control. You can go up to 100%, but you can go all the way up to 153%. Again, this could be useful for systems with low power speakers. And I did get a notification about there being 5 updates available. So that's something I can have a look at. But I'm not a Linux expert. I'm much more familiar with Windows systems and hardware side of things, and various different things. But Linux is something I've dabbled with every now and again, but not really spent that much time using it. So yeah. So if you've enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, etc., subscribe, or not. Do what you want. It's your life. But yeah, really appreciate all the comments, and thanks again for watching. See you in another video. Here's NeoFetch. And here we are with an install of Quake 3, although I've made the sound way too loud. And as per usual, there's no demos on this install, so let's just have a quick look at the resolution. So I'll set this to high quality. Yeah. Go for a single player and let's play this. I am dead. Thanks for watching. Bye.